just got done with a 3-week trip to Asheville. If we would have paid for a short-term rental, it would have cost us roughly $4,000. Instead, we had to feed and water a cat twice a day. That $4,000 we were able to save and put it into our retirement accounts. We're going to spend the next 11 months traveling the United States, and it's going to cost us the same amount as if we stayed home.
Hi, I'm Barbara. This is my husband Frank. We are the Joneses. We are starting a new YouTube channel, Everyday Joneses, to show people that you can travel inexpensively. We are in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we are heading to the Trolls.
We're going troll hunting today. So I work from home, I work from my laptop. It's easy for me to lose track of the days because every day is the same. I wake up, I bang on my keyboard for a little while, and then I go out in the afternoon and have a little adventure. That's part of how we're doing this trip. I have frequently had to explain to clients that I'm not on vacation, this is just my life. One example was when we were up in DC. We were there for the cherry blossom bloom last spring, and that was another pet sit. And a client messaged me and said, hey, I need some changes on my website. Let me know when you're back from vacation and we can get to work on that. And I replied to him letting him know, I'm not on vacation. Please send over the changes that you'd like to see. My team and I will get that done as soon as possible. The reason is I still put in hours at work. The only thing that changes is when I close my laptop screen, I'm, in that case, in DC checking out the cherry blossoms, or like right now, we're taking off in the middle of the day to go and visit the Trolls here in Raleigh, and then we'll head back to the house that we're staying at, and I'll get some more work done. Later this afternoon, I've got a dental appointment, so I blend life and work seamlessly, which makes it easy, like I said, to lose track of the days because they're all the same. I do the work that I enjoy, and I have a lifestyle that allows me to get out and explore every day of the week, whether it's a weekday or a weekend. We've seen a bunch of videos where people talk about visiting a city for $100 a day or things like that. We are extremely frugal. Whenever we see those kinds of videos, we are thinking that they have a luxurious budget and we can show you how to do things for a lot less. Friends and family have frequently told us that we need to be teaching people our ways of frugal travel. So that's what we're doing.
And so with the frugal travel, we are actually pet sitting. So we did not have to pay for a hotel. We're actually watching 2 pretty little puppies. That's allowing us to be here inexpensively. Going and seeing the Trolls is completely free.
So let's talk about what we have already lined up. We're here in Raleigh right now. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be over in New Bern. Those first 2 trips are still in North Carolina. They allow us to go on a little excursion, make sure that we've got everything packed. We already have a short list of things that we forgot to take care of back home and things that we want to add to our packing. So we'll be able to stop by and get those done. By the end of February, we are planning to head towards South Carolina. We'll be down in Hilton Head, and at that point we're not planning to come back home, so we really need to have everything done in order to take off on that leg of the trip. We have back-to-back pet sits lined up to take us from South Carolina through Georgia into Alabama and then over to Texas. We should be arriving in Texas by the end of March. And we're still looking to book about 4 weeks of pet sits from March going into April. And then our plan is to fly down to Mexico City to attend a conference and spend a month down there before resuming our road trip across the United States. By April, we'll be finishing up in Texas and heading to Mexico, come back sometime in May, continue heading to the southwest. By around June or July, we want to be going up the west coast into the Pacific Northwest. Around August and September, coming across the northern states and the Great Lakes. And then by October, we want to be in the Northeast in order to see the leaf season begin all the way up in Maine and follow that all the way down to Georgia over the course of September, October, and into November. That will allow us to cover the vast majority of the United States and go on a tour of the perimeter of the country. So what else do we know about these trolls that we're going to go visit? We went and saw them in Asheville on that trip back in December.
I do know that I was listening to somebody else who was talking about the trolls, and they were saying that there's a map that each troll has, like you can get it on your phone, like a QR code. And the idea is that each one of them has their own QR code, but at the end it's leading you to the bigger one, so you find the mother of all of them. So it's cool for kids and actually for adults too. Basically, you're on a hunt for each troll. Each troll has their own story. In the end, there's the bigger mother troll of all of them.
Yeah, so we went and visited all the trolls in Asheville, and there's a QR code that you scan to collect that you have visited those trolls on the website map. You do the same thing for the trolls in Raleigh, and you need to also visit the trolls in Charlotte and High Point. Apparently there's some code that you get from the necklace that each of these trolls are wearing in Raleigh, Charlotte, and High Point. And then when you put that information together on the website, you're able to unlock the location of that hidden troll. So we're not only doing that here in North Carolina, but as we're traveling, we'll be checking the map and looking for trolls as we go. I did see that our route should take us by another troll.
Ooh. So I do know the ones here in Raleigh is a family. So there's a mother and a father and I believe 3 kids. The ones in Asheville were scattered out, but this one has the mother, the father, and the 3 kids.
Yeah, so we're going to take you on a bit of an adventure trying to find those trolls here in Raleigh. I don't know when we're going to get to the ones in Charlotte and High Point. That may take us a little while because, like I said, our travels are going to take us away from North Carolina for the foreseeable future. But we have family back in Asheville, and so we frequently spend the holidays there. We may end up routing ourselves through Charlotte and High Point on the way to Asheville towards the end of this year.
Oh, and another thing about the trolls is that they're all made of recycled material.
Yeah, I can't remember the artist's name. He is traveling the world building these trolls out of recycled materials all over the globe. So it's exciting to add that as a part of our road trip, just going on a treasure hunt, visiting these parks, and having an excuse to get out and go for a hike. The fact that they're made of recycled materials is even better.
I do know the location in Asheville had a beautiful welcome center with restrooms and a fireplace. And I read where this location has a visitor center and bathrooms as well.
Take the exit toward Lake Wheeler Road. Then you'll take a slight right onto the ramp to Raleigh, Dorothea Dix Hospital.
So we've got about 3 minutes till we get to the park that we're going to be at. Let's wrap this up by talking about other things that we might be discussing on this channel. Obviously, we've got the travel component. I'm going to be talking a little bit about personal finance and investing. I'll probably talk a little bit about gardening. I like to think about my garden as another example of short, medium, and long-term returns. For example, while we're away from our house for the next several months, I have fruit trees that I've planted a few years ago, and essentially they just need to continue growing for 5 years, and then we'll have apples and peaches and pears and figs, and we've got small amounts of those that we collect now, but 5 years from now we'll be collecting even more. And so while we're away, those fruit trees are becoming even more established as long-term investments in our little homestead property. What else are you planning to cover with the content in this channel?
So I would say that definitely the traveling is a big aspect of it. I like thrifting. Also, my husband and I have gone down through a
Take your next
health
Homestead Drive.
kick, getting healthier and just wellness in general. So I think that we should talk about our journey there, going to the gym, exercising, how we do that while we're still traveling. I think some people might be interested in that as well.
Yeah, we could definitely create content around eating healthy and exercising on the road. I was talking with some people about how I plan to pack up my
Turn left
office
on.
work from the road on a regular basis. So we'll be having a lot of content about how we are packing up our home office and taking it on the road on a regular basis.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Showing up from one house to the next. We have no idea what we're walking into, but we have our bags packed in a way that we can set up an office and get to work.
And how we travel with just one backpack.
Yeah, our minimalist packing.
Because we're going to be flying to Mexico, as Frank said earlier, and we fly with carry-on only. And I know some of you guys may be interested on what we pack, how we pack. We've gone months traveling with just a backpack. So I think that would be cool.
We've had a number of people that have asked if we are taking an RV or how we're going to be going about this road trip. We are going to be in this little 4-door sedan. Everything has to fit in the trunk and the back seat. And we also have camping gear that we have packed in order to go and camp in some of the state and national parks as we're traveling around.